Mr. Average Hockey Fan here, and tonight I would like to preview tomorrow night's game against Anaheim, Montreal. Once again, we have the tale of teams trending in the wrong direction. Montreal, fortunately, trending in the right direction. Anaheim Ducks, not so much, having a really rough year. They've lost 15 in their last 17 games. They got blown out in their last game by Winnipeg 9-3. Winnipeg set a franchise records for the most goals in a regular season game, most goals in a game, period. It's not looking good for Anaheim. Their overall stats leaders are having terrible years. All their best guys, Perry, Getzlaf, all these guys are having terrible years. They've had bad injuries. Their goaltending is good, but you can tell by the tail of the numbers it's not a good year for Anaheim. And I'm going to start off with their numbers first. I was actually kind of shocked how bad their numbers were and how good their goaltending numbers were. They are 21, 22, and 9. Somehow they're fifth in the Pacific with that record. If this was 2 or 3 years ago, they would be a complete basement team. They would have no chance of making the playoffs. But the West is so bad this year. Anaheim are still technically in it, if you want to say that, because the West, the overall best teams in the West are performing well. But overall, you look at the way the race is going, like the wild card teams in the East would be really up there in the wild card, or like top 3 in the West. It's crazy, especially in the Atlantic. But anyways, Anaheim 21, 22, and 9. Their overall record, their last 10 games, 2, 2, and 6. So they've only had, if I'm not mistaken, well, they got 2, 2, and 6. So they've managed to get some points out of it. They got a lot of overtime losses, but out of those 20 points, they only got 8 points. So it's not very good. 2, 2, and 6. No, they managed to get 10 points in their last 20. It's still not very good. Anyways, their top 3 scorers, this is where it looks really bad. Ryan Getzlaf is a great player. He's been nominated for lots of trophies throughout the years. He's won things internationally. He's played on, I'm pretty sure, he was on the Olympic team, actually. He's won an Olympic gold medal. He's always been a top scorer, dominant player in the league. This year, not so much, and he's still the leading scorer on Anaheim, and he's a minus 14, which is crazy for Getzlaf. Getzlaf is not a player who's ever going to be a minus 14 unless he's really struggling. But Ryan Getzlaf only has 10 goals, 23 assists, 33 points, and like I said, is a minus 14. Behind him is Adam Henrique, who is a pretty good player, who's not even having a bad year by his standards, because he's not like an overall superstar, but he's not doing excellent either by no means, and Anaheim's really struggling. 9 goals, 18 assists, 27 points, minus 5 for Adam Henrique. Ricard Raquel, 8 goals, 16 assists, 24 points, minus 11, as Jay and Dan likes to say, one woman's erotic dream from Melinda Mintz. Ricard Raquel. I love Ricard Raquel. He's a great player. He's very entertaining to watch. Too bad he's on Anaheim. But their goaltending numbers are good. John Gibson has 17, 17, and 8, so his win-loss record ain't the best, but he's on a terrible team, and his save percentage shows it's not him that's losing these games. .916, it's dropped a bit in the past few games, but Anaheim's scoring has really dropped off. 2.86 goals against, so not bad numbers for Gibson. With his team's overall leaders having that kind of points, and the way Anaheim's looking at their goal differential, that's not bad for Gibson. The goal differential doesn't look good on the goalies, though. But Brian Miller is 4-2-1, .922 save percentage, 2.71 goals against, so he's looking, his numbers ain't bad at all. He actually has a winning record out of all these guys. He's only played 7 games, but he has the best record. Chad Johnson, on the other hand, his numbers are not good. I've actually never heard of Chad Johnson. I don't watch Anaheim a lot, and this is a guy I never even knew played in Anaheim. 0-3-0, .890 save percentage, 2.85 goals against. So not a terrible goals against, but not a good save percentage, and not a win, not even a point, not even an overtime loss. Their power play is 14.39, so they have a better power play than Montreal. Their penalty kill is 79.41, not that much different than Montreal's, just a little bit better than Montreal's. Their goal for and their goal against differential is insane. I was saying the other day New Jersey's was minus 22, and that looked really bad. Anaheim's is almost double that. Anaheim's goal differential is, they got 120 goals for, which isn't very good at all, and they got goals against 160, which is like not that bad overall in the league, but when you only got 120 goals for, that's brutal. Minus 40 differential. So that's Anaheim for you. That's the Anaheim numbers. Montreal is next, folks. Excuse me. I'm also sorry about the lighting in here. I was going to do this today, but I had to do it at night, and the way my room is, I got 2 big bright lights hooked up there, but no matter what I do, the way this room is set, it's like a corner room. You just can't get good lighting in here, so I'm sorry about the lighting, folks. trying to do the best job I can with this room I got. My daughter's room is so well lit, but it's my daughter's room. I can't use that. It's actually purple too. I don't want to see Habs fans with a guy with a purple room talking about hockey. How legit is that, right? But anyways, back to Montreal. Montreal's numbers: 29, 18, and 6. They're third in the Atlantic. They're ahead of Boston now. Looking good for Montreal. I was so pumped to see Drouin get that overtime winner in Edmonton last night. Absolutely pumped. What a game-winning goal. And Kotkaniemi before that with the backhand. Domi with the wraparound. Weber with the point shot. Wicked game for Montreal. I thought at the end they might lose it, but they pulled it off. 3 points out of the past 4. You gotta love it as a Habs fan. Woo! Loved it. Absolutely pumped with that game. The last 10 games, 7-2-1. Loving that too. I had to go look at, I couldn't find an overall list of their last 10 games, so I had to go look at the whole list of their games and look at the go down to the bottom of the 51 games they played and count the 10 and add it up myself. So 7-2-1 is what I came up with. Pretty sure that's spot on if you want to check it. Domi, the leading scorer, 17 goals, 30 assists, 47 points, plus 8. Thomas Tatar, second leading scorer. Him and Drouin are actually tied for second leading scorer, but I'm going to give it to Tatar because he's a plus 11, and he has more goals. 16 goals, 23 assists, 39 points, plus 4. Jonathan Drouin, game winner last night, 15 goals, 24 assists, 39 points, minus 3. Good to see Drouin going. He played wicked last night. I love the way Drouin was going. At the third period, he didn't see much of him, but when overtime came and he came down and scored that goal the way he flew up the ice, by the time he got halfway up the ice, I knew he was scoring or he was setting up a goal. I just felt it. I said it to my girlfriend. We were sitting there watching the game, and I was like, watch this, watch this. He's scoring, breakaway, breakaway. He came in, he didn't get a clean on breakaway, but he absolutely made a beautiful move, extended the stick, bar down. Talked about it last night in my review video. If you didn't see it, go check it out, folks. Subscribe, like, of course. And, yeah, Drouin, he got 39 points, 15 goals, 24 assists, 39 points, but he's a minus 3. He's played on the power play, which has struggled a bit this year. Had a few short-handed goals against. That's obviously not why he's a minus, but he takes some dumb penalties too. He's a player who gets frustrated. You can see it on his face, and he does some dumb things. Not as bad as what Domi does. Domi takes terrible penalties. I love Max Domi, but I gotta say he does take bad penalties. That penalty last night where he grabbed the guy by the head and threw him on the ice, a draw side, I believe it was. That was not a good penalty. I wasn't pleased with it. He's a player that just takes dumb penalties at the wrong time. That was at the end of the period. It cost us a goal. Could have cost us the game. Thankfully, it didn't. He's took penalties this year that had legit cost us the game. One against Buffalo. It was brutal. Anyways, the goaltending numbers for Montreal. Carey Price looking solid. His game last night was mediocre by his standards, under 900, but he got the W. That's what counts, and he shined in overtime. When the game was on the line, you knew Price had it, and he had it. Price 21, 13, and 4. He's top 10 in wins against goalies. .915 save percentage. 2.57 goals against. So his goals against went up a bit. Save percentage stayed the same. Looking good for Price. Niemi's not bad either, except for that save percentage, and goals against ain't the best, but his numbers ain't bad. 8-5-2. .893 save percentage. 3.611 goals against. Power play, 13.10. Penalty kill for Montreal, 78.61. So kind of similar numbers kind of similar numbers to Anaheim on the power play, on the penalty kill, but not on the power play. Montreal is like 1% behind Anaheim, and Anaheim doesn't have the best power play in the league by no means. I'm pretty sure Nashville's power play is worse than Montreal's. Excuse me, folks. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, it is Nashville. Nashville's power play is worse than Montreal's now, so that Nashville really, really must be struggling on their power play. It's worse than Montreal's. They had a power play goal last night. Weber from the point actually called it. In talking Habs with Rick, we were commenting back and forth, and he was talking about how he thinks Kotkaniemi is going to score, which he was bang on about. And I said, I think Edmonton's weak on the point. They don't protect the point well, and I think Weber's going to score a goal. I didn't say on power play, but I thought he was going to score. Sure enough, first goal of the game. Who is it? Shea Weber steps up, rocket from the point, and the power play. Gorgeous. And like I said, the penalty kill, 78.61, power play, 13.10, good for 30th in the league, and I think the penalty kill is mid-range in the league, probably 16, 17. I never exactly checked that stats. I'll let you know in my next video. Goals for, 158, goals against, 155, plus 3 differential, so sure as shit beats minus 40 differential. Not a great goal differential. They're not blowing teams out 5-1 and stuff like that. They're not scoring 6 goals a game, but they're doing what they got to do to get the win, and the right guys are scoring, and that's what counts. When you're watching your team, you want the right guys to be stepping up, your role players to be doing their jobs when they need to do it, the defense to be solid, and the guys like Tatar, Domi, Drouin, the dependable guys you need, and that one-man Armia, Joel Armia down there controlling the puck, touching the puck every shift 3 or 4 times. It's like that guy's a magnet for the puck, and you can't get his puck off the stick. He's amazing. He's a one-man Armia. That's what I heard he's called at Edmonton or Winnipeg, and I loved it when I heard it, and I'm going to keep using it now myself to get the trend going, one-man Armia. And yeah, tomorrow night's game, I'm predicting a big win for the Habs in this one. I could see the Habs absolutely smoking Anaheim. I don't know who they're going to put in net. If they put Johnson in net, it's game over. He's 0-3-0. His numbers ain't good. Gibson is a good goalie, but just the way Anaheim plays, they're older, they're slower, they're a bigger team against a fast back-and-forth team like Montreal, a team that can just get the puck and be up the ice before you know what hit you. Look for a lot of breakout players from Montreal, a lot of 2-on-1s, a lot of getting the puck back, a lot of turnovers by Anaheim because they're a really bad team for turning it over in the zone. And if Montreal can get on the power play a bit and get the power play going, it would be really good for them. I want to see him get some power play goals. I'd love to see Anaheim shit the bed tomorrow night and get 5 or 6 penalties, or have 5 or 6 penalties against them, and Montreal get a power play goal or 2, even to just boost it up to like 13-5, 14 something like that, to get to the 20s in the league, like the 22, 23 spot. I hate seeing him in the basement on power play, because I don't care how good of a team you are, you're not going to win the playoffs with that kind of power play, and teams will take penalties against you in the playoffs because the game is so intense, and their back and forth is just bound to happen, and you need a good power play. A guy like Shea Weber needs to be effective on that point on the power play. I'd love to see him get it going. I heard Mark Bergevin was actually at 2 Anaheim games in a row now scouting the team. So it looks like he's looking to pick up somebody at Anaheim. That's not a rumor or nothing. That's confirmed. Mark Bergevin was at the Anaheim games. Their last game against Winnipeg, and he was at their last game against St. Louis, I think it was, for that. And obviously he's going to watch him play Montreal. So something's going on between Montreal and Anaheim. I don't know if it's going to be a deal or anything. Maybe he's just scouting. Maybe there's a particular player he likes. But for him to be at the Anaheim games like that, there's a reason, because he ain't no giant Anaheim Ducks fan as far as I know. But yeah, that's some of my predictions on the game. Look for 7-1, 7-2, 6-1, 6-2 Habs win. I don't want to jinx it. If the hockey gods could speak otherwise, Gibson could stand on his head. But in my mind, my opinion, just from what I've seen of both teams, the Habs are just way better of a team. Their style is a nightmare matchup for Anaheim, and I'm looking for a big win for Montreal. Let's hope it happens. Go Habs, go. This is Mr. Average Hockey Fan. Over and out. Please like and subscribe if you like these videos. Feel free to comment. If I like your comment, I'll be sure to comment back. If I don't like your comment, I'll like it anyways and comment anyways. Have a good day, folks. Like and subscribe. Mr. Average Hockey Fan. Let's see you tomorrow against Anaheim. See you after the game. I'll have a great review.